Welcome to another episode of You Can't Make This Shit Up. This is your host, David Washington. I am your host, Joel Huxley, and we are Jay in Washington, and this is a Jay in Washington network production. Thank you to John, our producer. Let's get into this. This is about sports, and I'm a big college football fan, being a University of Central Florida Knight. I understand this more than anybody in the state of in the United States of America. When FSU, a Power Five team, for the first time ever with an undefeated season, has been sent to the locker room to Alabama with a 12-1 record. So I'm so excited to be talking about this. I support Florida State. I support the Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody's antitrust investigation into the CFP and Governor Ron DeSantis' allocation of $1 million to protect the litigation. He rejects the college football playoff decision, defense of Alabama's strength of schedule, or the potential impact of FSU's quarterback Jordan Travis's injury. Let's go, David. Let's talk about this. Snubbed again. Florida.
Okay, before we start, I have to get a couple of props here. So bear with me. Talk to the audience. Let me get my props here. I should have been prepared for this, but let me grab it real quick.
Okay, so let David, as David gets ready, let's talk about the issue, right? So the controversy is surrounding Florida State's playoff snub, right? So the issue, Florida State Seminole, an undefeated 13-0, they were excluded from the college football playoff in favor of one-loss team, Alabama, at 12-1. So this sparked the controversy and accusations of unfairness, and particularly in Florida. So the key players, the Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody has launched an antitrust investigation into the CFP. She's demanding information about the selection process and the potential bias. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis allocated $1 million for the potential litigation related to the snub. Now, college football playoff has defended their decision, citing Alabama's strength of schedule and the potential impact of FSU quarterback Jordan Travis's injury. Let's get to the argument, right? Strength of schedule.
Okay. All right. Before we get to all of that,
does that team ever get to the playoffs? Did they have any shot?
It's the Washington Huskies representing right now. And they are in the playoffs. And while I was away in South Carolina, I caught a little shit because I was, wearing my Huskies baseball cap and hoodie while I was grilling, and I came across two gentlemen who from Florida, and they had some words about the snub, and I kind of stopped them in their tracks and said, you know something? This is the college football playoff system. This is college football. And with the recent court decisions about players being able to monetize their efforts as athletes in college sports, with the billions and billions of dollars that college football is able to generate for universities, for advertisers, for the different leagues, the decision, in my opinion, was all about money. The decision to exclude FSU from the playoff was all about putting together the teams who would bring viewership to the playoffs, to the national championship game, and therefore making money for all the marketers, all the businesses, all the branding, and so forth and so on. So the efforts.
So it's not about winning.
It's not about winning.
It's not about being.
It's not.
So the playoffs aren't
It's
about
not.
being the best team. So
It's
Washington,
no.
so Washington is just going to bring in what revenue? No, Washington's not about money. They had a winning record. They were second. They were number 2. There was no way you could eliminate number 2. So that's David. That's just like hype. Okay, look at 1 and 2 automatically go forward. 3, 4, and 5. That's where you have a little bit of trouble. How do you put FSU to 5th when they've been 4th the entire time? Look, this is a pure snub. It's an ACC versus SEC money grab, like you said. This is unprecedented. Look, UCF in 2018 goes undefeated plus, right? Because they had 25-game winning streak, right? They went from last season playoff, they went to the bowl game, they won the bowl game. So they're already winning team. They come in the season, they win all 13 of their games. They go against the power. They get told, you're not in the Power 5. There's strength of schedule. Let's see, we're going to set you aside. We give you a good bowl game. We're going to set you up against a Power 5. Watch you get beat from LSU, and we beat LSU, right? The roar is outrageous, right? Now we're a Power 5 team, and how in the first year that we're in the Power 5, right? We now entered the Power 5. We're not doing that great, but it's an adjustment. However, we get welcomed by, it doesn't matter if you're undefeated or not, you can't go to the playoffs. So UCF being the youngest Power 5 team ever, we're going to have to get our act together because we're going to have to unite to show that we're going to be the toughest team out there. We're going to win because if FSU can't go to the playoffs, this is just another fact that we don't like Florida. We don't think Florida has any chance of bringing in any revenue. We want an overpaid coach who's washed up, couldn't even make it in Florida. He got kicked out of Florida because he couldn't get the Miami Dolphins to win. And Steve Spurrier is sitting there with his chest out high. And if he wins the championship, guess what? F you all. He was a loser that is now your champion. Thank you very much. That's my assessment of this. Fuck college football right now. Hell with them. They're wrong. Get rid of the the 4-team playoff altogether. Just stick your hand in the pockets of Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, anybody out there, because you guys, you're not making money for anybody but yourselves. Get out of here. Get out of town. Michael O'Shaughnessy answered me on, he's a Hall of Famer from UCF, and he said, hey, a head-to-head, you really think the FSU could beat Alabama in a head-to-head? And I said, well, we'll never fucking know, will we? So thank you very much. I love these topics, David, because this is fun. But you are right. This topic came up because Ron DeSantis has done another gaffe, and his little children have asked Papa, hey, Daddy, why can't FSU with an undefeated season get in there? And now you're going to put $1 million for to find out why, right?
Unbelievable. and Ashley, Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody, talking about going after the playoff system for antitrust issues. It's like this is entertainment. It's no longer sport. It is entertainment. And when it's entertainment, it's about dollars. And when I'm a huge college basketball fan, and when March Madness comes around, it's a freaking holiday for me.
It's
And
good.
then I started to realize this is all a month worth of marketing and branding, and it's about dollars. And you hope to see, the same players from one team play the next year, then the year after that, and then the year after that, and then
Nobody even
graduate. It's
that with
all
you on this. Who Gazaga, whatever their name is. Nobody
exactly.
knew who the hell they were until all of a sudden they started winning and they get in that March Madness, and all of a sudden every year since that they're the talk of the town. Oh, I got to go to Gonzaga. I get it. I get it. I can't do a bracket. My bracket gets busted on day number 1 because I take a team that everybody tells me is going to win, okay, I'm gonna take this team, and everybody says it's gonna win, and then all of a sudden they lose, and my bracket's already busted in round one.
It is a season long, including the preseason and the summer leagues and all that stuff. It is a season long study. I remember getting into the different pools and winning them by large margins and smaller margins. It is work. And I used to enjoy it, but then, again, I just began to see that, the championship was also, a money grab. The March Madness was also a money grab, especially when they expanded the brackets
When the
to
president,
include the play-in games. I was like,
when the
okay,
president,
I'm done. I'm done.
let's have the
I'm done.
president. How about the presidential bracket for
Oh
8 years?
Lord.
We got to have President Obama give us his bracket.
I mean, it was kind of cool. I mean, it was kind of cool. I didn't know he was an avid fan of college ball, but doing the brackets are fun. I don't do it as much as I do now. I don't follow college basketball as much as I do now. But I understand with the television rights, with the expansion of the leagues, with teams moving from league to league to league, it makes no sense. Washington, UW, is going to be in the Big Ten in 2025. What? What?
Hey,
Yeah,
have
some teams
fun.
are going to be traveling from the West Coast all the way to the East Coast for a division for a league game.
Mhm.
To me, I come to understand it's a business. I just see the hypocrisy. We'll be talking about a lot of hypocrisy with conservatives and Republican Party here in Florida. Um, that DeSantis and uh, AG Moody are going after the college football
Mhm.
playoff system when they're a
Well,
private entity and it's a business. It's about
well, it's
money.
but as a private industry, I don't think they're missing the boat when you do antitrust. So, I mean, this is about you again. You said it's about money,
Hmm.
right? And where the dollars go. So this is within her purview, and let's compare it. Let's just for a moment um, take the FSU and the and the Knights out of it for me. Okay, I'm going to kind of back up. You know, arbitrary things like strength of schedule. A lot of people don't even understand what strength of schedule is. So imagine it like a chef's pantry, right? The stronger the pantry, the more impressive the dishes you can make. In football, the pantry is the schedule that you play, right? So
Right.
so compare Alabama and FSU, which I tried to do. Uh, Take my feelings out because David, see, I started this one with all feelings, and now you got your feelings on your chest, right? So look, let's take that and bring it back to where we bring our show. Wins against ranked opponents. So both teams have 5 wins against ranked opponents, which it's even, right? So that's an even stat. Now, overall record, right, of opponents. Alabama's opponents have a slightly better winning percentage at 0.544% versus 5.22. Well, that's minuscule too, right? So that means that generally, that they played more formidable opponents. Okay, well that's still within a margin of like this is still anybody's game. So strength of conference, right? This is where we start to say, okay, is the SEC better than the ACC? Is it this is where the dollars come in. SEC has more eyes on it, doesn't necessarily mean it's a better conference. And that's what you alluded to. SEC will get us more eyes on it, will get us more advertising dollars because more people are watching the SEC. ACC, you just bend over, take this one as it's worth, and move on. SEC is where everybody's going to move to. There's only going to be one conference in the entire, football league. It's going to be 12 playoff teams all coming from the SEC. Thank you. That's my final word.
Go UW. It's all entertainment.
Go for it.
Hey, we are your political innovators. That's Joel Hawksley. I'm David Washington. We are Jay in Washington. Please like, comment, share, and hit the notification button. We definitely want to hear what you have to say on this topic and every topic that we lay out in front of you. And again, we are here to bring the best people with the best ideas to represent their communities. Thanks again.
Charge on. Charge on,
Oh,
man.
you dub.